Hello everyone, welcome to the series named Conversation with Kushal. Once again, today's guest is very different from anyone I've interviewed before for this series. She has set foot in the film fraternity to show her dominance in the realm of acting. She truly is beauty with brains. It's safe to say her CA qualification didn't stop her from pursuing a rather unconventional route of acting. She's none other than Arshin Mehta. She made her Bollywood film debut as a lead actress in the film The Rally. She has also appeared in several popular commercials like Imperial Blue, McDonalds, Maruti, Samsung, Airtel, and international commercials like Dabar International, etc. Apart from work, she enjoys seeking the thrill of life via activities such as skydiving, scuba diving, etc. Well, what can you say? She's a girl who lives a life to the fullest. Thank you so much, Arshin, for accepting my invitation. It's a pleasure to talk to you today.
Thank you, Kushal, for taking me. I especially love when CAs interact because comparatively, when I see others interacting and taking an interview, they don't understand the intensity when a chartered accountant takes my interview. So I'm always glad when I talk to a CA, वो एक अपनापन सा लगता है. So thank you for calling me.
My pleasure, my pleasure. So guys, like you would have heard about all the commercials which I just named right now. So why not have a look at some of her popular commercials where she has acted in.
23B. Do you mind?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Please.
Dadu?
Men will be men. Seagram's Imperial Blue Super Hits Music CDs.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm sorry, मुझे नहीं लगता मुझसे ये होगा. I mean, शादी के बाद सुबह उठ के मैं रोज तुम्हारे लिए ब्रेकफास्ट. Wow. नील, मेरी बात तो सुनो नील. फिर तुम एक्सपेक्ट करोगे कि शादी के बाद मैं खाना बनाऊं, घर संभालूं. I'm not
और कुछ?
शादी के बाद चाय तुम ही बनाओगे.
करिए नई रिश्तों की शुरुआत मारिया डेटी के साथ.
So after watching all those commercials, Arshin, I think like we can clearly see the struggle and the hard work which has been undergone, which portrays the personality where you are today. So let's begin with the first very straightforward question. So what's your entire story and what has the amount of work undergone in your early days, that is teenage and childhood, that has led you to be a person you are today?
So, when I was a kid, I was, I'm from a small town, as you know. I'm from Ahmednagar, and in a small town, I think everybody knows everyone here. So my father used to teach in Ahmednagar College, and he was very famous. And so because everybody knew my father, everybody knew me also, and there was a lot of love which was poured on me even when I was a kid. Everybody used to love me. I had beautiful friends. I had a beautiful sets of parents, family, brothers. So my childhood and my teenager was all about a lot of love giving to me, and everybody kept on telling me you're the prettiest, and my mom used to tell me you're the most beautiful girl in the world, which gave me a lot of confidence. Because she kept on telling me that, it gave me so much of confidence that I really thought that probably I'm the most beautiful girl in the world, because as a kid, you don't know and you believe to what your parents say. And it gave me so much of confidence that I was like, aisa hai to main Miss India mein part lungi, because she kept on saying I was pretty enough. And then my kaki, my aunt, everybody kept on telling me, you are confident, you're beautiful and everything. So my teenage went on like that, and my parents were very supportive to what I wanted to do, though my mom was very strict with academics and everything. But my dad, even though he was from an academic background and he taught a lot of subjects, he always encouraged us to do whatever I wanted to, like every time. So I think when I was a small kid, I had seen, I don't know what age, I had seen Dilwale Dulhaniya Le Jayenge, And I loved Kajol so much that I was like, I want to be there on the screen. I didn't know how, I had no idea, but I was just like, I want to be there on the screen. And I just wanted to make a act karna tha. I don't know why I would study. I was really good at my studies. My mom was very strict, but I was really good with my studies, you know. I used to score 99, 98 in accounts, finance. I used to
Wow.
score. So but then somewhere I knew that this is not I wanted to do. So after I completed my CA, I started working out a lot because I put on a lot of weight. Of course, CA में दो ही चीज ही हम करते हैं, खाते हैं और पढ़ाई करते हैं.
Right.
So I put on a lot of weight, and then I had to struggle myself from that after my CA till date. So I think it was a lot of input of love and confidence that my family and my friends gave me when I was a kid and teenage, and that's what makes me what I am today.
Right, absolutely. And like you also told that you opted for CA, and after that CA, the real struggle phase started. So after the
Yeah.
CA examinations, like you had to give a lot of auditions. And in fact, I was reading in one of an article that you had given thousands of auditions, and during that initial phase, and like you did not have a strong connect in this industry, as you pointed out. So your dad, like he's a director of Institute of Management Studies, and your mom was from a
Right.
hotel management background.
Correct,
So
correct.
basically, I just want to ask you, like without any strong connect and reference, what is that one core trait which you find in yourself that led you to become the successful actress today?
Well, actually, I always wanted to be there, but that's what everybody kept on telling me because that's what we hear. We used to hear that time. You know, contact ही नहीं है, तुम कैसे आगे बढ़ोगी? तुम्हें तो कुछ पता ही नहीं है. We don't have any godfather. It's always about the godfather. You know, my father was into finance and everything, so like you got to pursue that. So I was like, I did that CA. Now let me do what I want. Though I had no idea about it, so I was like, done with my parents' dream. Now it starts with my dream. Luckily, it happened at the right age. So I really didn't know, Kushal, like where to go, what to do. So I was in Pune and I was studying there, and I was so scared of going to Bombay because I was comfortable in my comfort zone in Pune. I had my set of friends, thoda Marathi auditions hote the, whatever. So I was like, मैं जो भी होगा life में मैं Pune से बाहर नहीं निकलूंगी. So my mama kept on telling me that, you know, अगर तू serious है ना तेरी career को लेके, then you have to go to Bombay. And I kept on bragging, yeah, okay. And finally, as every girl dream is to become Miss India, I thought I will fill up the form. So in Pune, I started winning a lot of beauty pageants. But then ultimately, when Miss India comes, you have to be in Bombay. So then there was this acting course and there was this Miss India which happened. And I was like, Miss India nahi hua, to maybe मैं acting course कर दूंगी. I was so confident कि मैं Miss India होगी. But then I didn't know how much it takes to become Miss India, and Miss India to nahi hua. But now I was already in Bombay, and I was like, now I think I should not shift to Pune. Let me give it a shot. So then I joined this acting course. And I joined this acting course, and I started, you know, being with a group of friends who were also into acting. And I had no idea तभी भी auditions कहाँ पे होते हैं. Finally, one day I get a call. I come to know that there's an audition happening somewhere, and I went there. So when I went there, I got a bang on my face that you are not fitting, you don't fit. And I was like, what is this going to happen to me for the rest of my life? I got very scared. I got underconfident कि ये क्यों हुआ मेरे साथ? Like मुझे तो कभी कोई मना नहीं करता है, you know. But then I think that was my journey, and I just कहाँ से मैं सुन लेती थी कि वहां ऑडिशन होता है तो मैं चली जाती थी, ऐसे रास्तों पे घूमती थी तो लोग बोलते थे तो मॉडल हो, इधर ऑडिशन हो रहा है. आई यूज्ड टू कम टू नो कि एरियाज पे कहाँ पे हो रहा है, बट आई यूज्ड टू जस्ट वॉक ऑन द स्ट्रीट्स रैंडमली पीपल आस्किंग मी आपका नंबर क्या है. And I think that's how I started. It was very vague, you know. And then I got a group where that was a genuine group which said that we would send you auditions, you know. कहाँ कोई दोस्त है मुझे audition पे दिया था, दोस्त भी नहीं थी, random लड़की थी. And I think that changed my life. I started giving a lot of auditions whichever were coming. कोई भी हुआ, कोई भी. I just had to meet that person to tell them that there is somebody called Arshin Mehta who's existing here. So then I think once I started getting a lot of commercials after giving those auditions, I started getting a lot of confidence and I started to realize कि contact से काम नहीं होता है. अगर काम
Right.
होता है तो with going there, telling people, giving your audition, putting that hard work in it. So I, not 1,000, I must have given more than 2,500, 3,000. I have a booklet. I have like books which has auditions today, like 4-5 auditions, because as an actor, it started giving me a lot of practice also. So because I
Right.
started getting work, I started loving, I wanted to give more auditions. So more auditions,
Right.
more work, more auditions. So then I started journey. And once I started getting work, it did not stop me.
Right,
So, yeah.
absolutely. That's very inspiring as well. Because what happens nowadays is that if people fail, like be it academic failure or even a professional failure, it's a very hard setback. And to bounce back is the differentiating factor, I feel. Like to be optimistic
Yeah.
and to be positive all the time. So
Yeah, there were
that's
a lot of
important.
failures, like a lot of failure. Like I think out of 100 auditions, you hardly get 4-5 auditions, to be very frank. 5 or 6
That's
audition, or if you're lucky, 10 or 12 auditions,
that's like
10
the
to
CA
12
passing
finalists.
percentage.
Yes,
4
it is very.
5%.
Besides, there's much more because I think everybody in the world wants to become an actor, like
Right.
everyone. So there is a lot of more competition than what it was, and me not knowing also what it is, because at least here my dad used to teach me all the subjects. I knew people who used to teach me. यहाँ पे तो कोई था ही नहीं. You had to do
Exactly.
everything by yourself. So I think the only thing which I had in mind was a never give up attitude and being persistent. I just kept on going on and on no matter what. I did not give up. I was very persistent to it and
Absolutely.
committed.
It's really important. And one thing which I also like figure out from your answer is that it's very important to stay out of your comfort zone. If you're going to be in your comfort zone for the entire life, like you won't be able to prosper ahead. So it's really
Yes,
important to move out of your comfort zone and just seek and explore opportunities. So
totally. I used to stay in town and the audition used to happen in Andheri. I'm still struggling. I won't say I'm a very successful, but I used to take a taxi. I used to take a train, travel in all the makeup. And then from train, I used to take a rickshaw. From rickshaw, I used to walk down to places here and there because log bolte the yahin pe hai, in my heels. And I did that for months and years, and I'm still doing it. Now I stay in Andheri also, but this is what I did. So I think
right.
it was a lot of struggle, and then खुद का खाना पकाने का, खुद का ही ध्यान रखने का, because when you're at home, you have your family. Here you have
Right.
to do everything yourself. So yeah.
Right. So Arshin, like like there are two perspectives of how people look at a CA. So one perspective is that like people would say that he's a bookworm, he's a CA, so he just has studied all the life, and therefore he or she is a bookworm or he or she is a nerd. And the second perspective is usually that, oh, he or she has done his or her CA, and therefore like he must have put a lot of hard work and efforts, and now he has cleared one of the toughest exams in this country. So when you entered this new industry of Bollywood, which you didn't experience before, how did people look up to you? What was their perspective when they got to know that you have also cleared one of the toughest exams?
Firstly, though, they got a shock of their life when I told my parents now I wanted to do acting. They're like, you're so intelligent, you've done CA, now why? Even my family, friends, and everybody from the society, they were like, you've done CA, why do you want to do it? Kya ho raha hai? I used to hate people asking me, kuch hua kya, kuch hua kya. So it did not matter whether I was a C or what, because I had started to struggle again. But when I actually got in the middle of my acting and everything, and people started knowing me, is when I used to introduce myself as a chartered accountant, especially in front of producers and production houses and directors. So first of all, they used to not believe, so I had to keep my card with me. I literally had to keep my card, and I am a C, I have my interviews, please, and they were like, they totally changed their attitude and perspective towards me. They started giving me so much of respect, because I think when you have a degree with you, you have the authority and you have the power to say something which people will listen to. Otherwise, people will always be like, "Paltu ka kuch bhi bakwas kariye." But because we have studied so much and we are not here to waste our times. I am a chartered accountant. That's definitely that I'm not come here to waste your time or my time. I'm here for serious business. I'm here for serious work. So I think people started looking at me in a lot of more respectful way. I got a lot of more importance. It gave me a lot of confidence, because compared
Right.
to what it was, when I used to go to the parties and when I used to see people how used to they behave with other people, I used to compare myself and I'm like, okay, I am very lucky enough, because no nonsense with me was allowed, because they knew that I have a backup plan, and plus I am a respected person. I'm a chartered
Right.
accountant. So the respect that I got from people was amazing. Like, nobody took me for granted, and then they
Right.
started respecting me a lot for my work.
Right. So
So
you
that
don't
was an
regret
advantage. Not at
becoming a CA
all.
at all.
Absolutely not. I feel so happy to make that decision, that I did acting after completing a good degree, especially one of the most difficult degrees, because people usually come into this field in their schooling or college ho gaya to
Right.
BCom kar lo, to log yahi sochte, but when you say you're a CA, okay, she means serious work, and kahin na kahin wo ho jata hai ki tum intelligent ho,
Right.
kahin si तुम इंटेलिजेंट होगा, वो बन जाता है, क्या बोलते हैं, आइडिया हो जाता है लोगों को. So yeah,
Right.
it was an advantage to me.
Right, absolutely. Now, one very relevant question asking on behalf of everyone. So it's
Yeah.
like it's very important to keep in touch with passion in a person's life. So what happens nowadays is that, like, beat any deadline which is there. Like, for example, a person is working and he has some work deadlines and he has to slog
Hmm.
himself for 12, 13 hours a day, and therefore he's not able to stay in touch with his passion or hobby. Same thing happens when he's doing articleship or even during his CA finals leave or any other academic student. So if he's studying for 12,
Hmm.
13 hours a day, it's hardly possible to stay in touch with passion. So asking you
Hmm.
how important, first of all, it is to stay in touch with passion, and how did you manage to maintain that equilibrium between your academic and your passion?
Well, I think it is very important. As those people are studying for 12 to 13 hours, how productive are they in their studies, and that
Yeah,
totally depends on how happy you are from inside, and if you've made peace with whatever you're doing right now.
right,
So for me as a person, I did not have a balance, because somewhere my years were going by और मेरा Miss India का deadline था. So for me it was like study, 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 study. There was no break. So I was very frustrated at a point that I wanted to pursue something else, and I was doing something else. I think in the middle of PCC, there was a point where I wanted to give up. I didn't wanted to continue with my CA, because I was like, this is not my passion. I want to do
Mhm.
acting. And I did not even have a minute. I did not know acting. People, at least if they're singing and have something, they know what to do. Acting, I did
Right,
not know what to do about it. So I got frustrated and I wanted to leave. And then my uncle, he gave me an advice that if I give up this thing, I will give up everything in life. And then I was like, now, no matter what, how many years it takes, I will do my CA. And then I will pursue my passion. But unlike that, is what I want to say is, it's very important for others to pursue that passion, because I think having a passion makes you love yourself. It makes you more confident about yourself. It gives you happiness, gives you peace of mind, which is so important. I have friends who slog their asses off, sorry to use that word, who slog a lot, and they're frustrated at the end of it. It's so important, because you get a life, you want to live that life. What is the point if it's boring, if you're making money but you're not happy? Trust me,
right,
I am not making a lot of money compared to what I would have if I was a chartered accountant. Trust me, it's nowhere compared to it, but I am happy about it, because it makes me love me. It makes me love myself more. It has given me peace. It's given me a lot of happiness. And then
right,
once you have your passion, then don't think कि कितना success मिलेगा. Then you keep working on it. So I feel
right.
a lot of people who are not engaged in their passions and not knowing are super frustrated about their lives and not knowing what to do. So I think it's very important to have a balance between the two,
Right.
because having a passion definitely gives you a lot of more confidence, because you are true to yourself. You're just not true to yourself if you're not pursuing what you want. अंदर ही तुम बोलते हैं ना, अंदर ही कुछ और आदमी है, बाहर
Ah,
कुछ और दिखावा है.
right,
So how can you be that for the whole of your life? Like, for the rest of your life, you cannot be that. So
right.
have a balance
Absolutely,
is what I feel. Yeah. Like,
absolutely.
if you're a working person, work for Monday to Friday. Saturday, Sunday, do what you want. If I was a chartered accountant, maybe still, I would have definitely given my weekends to acting, or maybe gone to Bombay, or given 3 or 4 days, or given like 4 months to this, 6 months to that, somewhere, but I would have not totally got off my passion. So, yeah.
Right. And after talking to you, it feels that, of course, you're very happy and you're more than satisfied with the job which you're doing right now, because that is your passion ultimately. So even I think that it's very important to have that happy state of mind, because it's usually said that a successful person cannot be happy at all times, but with a happy mind, he can achieve success in whatever he does. So it's really important to have that happy state of mind. So what's your key to finding inner peace, and how have you built that happy state of mind? So how can a person build that happy state of mind so that even he can give his 100% in whatever he is doing?
Well, I think happy state of mind is literally overstated. It's more important to have peace inside rather than being happy, even if you're, it's rather to have nothing in your mind. Of course, happiness, people say, yeah, to khush nahi hai, but I think being at peace is much more important. For me, happiness is something which comes and goes, like till date, I do, it's not that I'm happy all the time, I have my phases also. Like when I was a young kid and I was a teenager and I was in my early 20s, I had these unrealistic targets where I used to feel that at this point of life, I would have my own sea-faced bungalow, I would have a luxury car, I would have crore of rupees, I would have movies flooded with all the khans and everything, and I would be so important to people. But it was very unrealistic and nothing like that happened, and of course, when I think about it, it makes me unhappy. So it's something like you have to have realistic goals. You can't just think something. I am following my passion. When I look at people who have not even achieved of what, being in this industry for years together, I feel really grateful, I feel happy, and I feel really blessed that at least I have what they don't. So it's always like, you should never compare yourself to others, is what I feel, because the moment you start comparing is when you get unhappy कि यार मैंने तो इतना अचीव नहीं किया, इंस्टाग्राम में इतना इसके पास है, इसके पास इतना है, ये तो इतना हीरोइन बन गई है, इसके साथ कर रही है. So the moment I start comparing myself with others is when I feel low and sad about my life, and it still happens to me. Is when it happens to me and I go to my father and I tell him about it, and he always gives me one advice saying that it's not the end of the world, and the important thing is that I keep working on myself. As long as I'm doing something, you are working on yourself. It's not that you've stopped becoming something, you're lazy and you're not doing anything. I am working on my craft. Like even right now, I have my acting classes going on and I'm working on my craft and everything. So I think happiness is a state of mind where you have to make realistic things, and it's like having getting into reality. It's like if you have to be real and truthful to you. For example, abhi if you want something so badly, you can't have it. Pandemic chal raha hai bhai, thoda slow down ho jao. I used to get, I was like, Papa, movie nahi mil rahi hai, ye nahi ho raha, wo raha. I was like, pandemic hai, the whole world is sitting at home. So I feel it's important to be real and have a target which is also real, and stop fantasizing about things which are hypothetical and which you see looking at Instagram. It's not a fake world. So only have competition with yourself. See what you were yesterday and see what you're today, because even me, I'm a work in progress. It's not that I have become successful. As long as I'm working on my talent, it makes me happy. Initially, it was all about getting that fame and getting that recognition and all. But now, after knowing what it is, it's all about learning the craft and doing something and being better of what you were yesterday. That is what makes me happy.
Wonderful advice. Like stop comparing yourself with other people. Just start comparing yourself with the previous yourself. So it's like, who are you yesterday and who are you today? What's the difference? Just start looking and scrutinizing on that aspect. Wonderful. A lot of people think, and a lot of people also have this dream of becoming famous. They also want कि यार मुझे भी Instagram पे यार 1 लाख 2 लाख followers चाहिए, मेरे को भी लोग ऐसे चाहने चाहिए. People should look up to me and say I want to become like him, like her. So had you ever dreamt of becoming famous, and after achieving success at a young age, like how did you deal with all the fame?
Of course, I think everybody wants to be famous when they're young, Everybody wants to be recognized for their work. Everybody wants people to hear you, people to love you for your work and everything. So initially for me, it was all about fame and, making your name there and everything. And I think, don't say that successful, because I always say myself as a work in progress, because it's like once you're successful, then what next? It's
Right.
like we humans are so greedy about things that we keep wanting for something and something and something. So it's always a work in progress. And what was your question again?
The question was like, how did you deal with all the fame?
So no, to be very frank, I am not that successful. I will be one day there, and I'm still working on it. But for me, initially, it was all about being successful. Is all about your name and being there no matter what work you do. Right now, I have learned to love my craft and being recognized because of my craft. It doesn't matter. Like I did rally, I did a lot of ads. I haven't got that famous because of all that, but there are a lot of people who have loved my work. And that is what makes me happy now. Initially, of course, the fame and everything I wanted in my life. But now I think the love for my craft and people recognizing for my work makes me happy.
Right.
So I'm still work in progress with the fame thing.
I think that's the modest part of yours, calling yourself a work in progress.
No,
But yeah,
seriously, I am not lying. Like seriously, I wouldn't deny that. Like in my hometown, everybody knows me because it's a small town. But trust me, in Bombay, when you go, there are so many people who are a lot famous than me, and I don't even know them. And so that would be the same case with me.
right,
So
right.
take it. Maybe in CA, yes, but not
Of
otherwise.
course. In CA, of course, it's yes. But even in otherwise, of course, like you will get to that stage where you want to be in the near future. So I think one key takeaway from your answer would be that like it shouldn't be like you want to work for fame, or maybe you want to give your best just because you want to get recognized. It's like just give your best, and ultimately the fame is going to come to you. So it's very
Yes,
important to
because
give your
it's
best.
not easy. Yes, because initially I thought it was very easy, but trust me, you have to work hard for it. Like I am still working on my craft, and to be where I am, because there are a lot of times where I get nervous about things, and when I see fame and I see, am I that competent? Am I that competent? I'm like, why am I again comparing myself? I'm supposed to compare myself to what I was yesterday. Though
Right.
I am more matured about how things are. I've come to the reality of life. So I think that's what, forget fame. Fame, of course I want fame and all, but that was something which pehli wali Arshin wanted. Right now all she wants is
Right.
good work and money with it. Yes, financially being stable, that is what makes me happy.
Yeah, right, right. Get it. Wonderful. So, Arshin, like every one of us have some role model in our lives. We look up to that person and we want to become like him or her. So there are a lot of people whom we look up to because we want to become like him or her. So who's that role model in your life, and like why would that person inspire you the most so that even you want to become like him or her?
I am not inspired by just one person in life. But like, why one person? There are a lot of people who have inspired me. A lot
Right.
of people. I think when I was a kid, Kajol had inspired me to become an actor. When I grew up, Priyanka Chopra ko jab maine Miss World ban ke dekha, I think, and her confidence and everything and going into Hollywood really inspired me. When I see Shah Rukh Khan and hear Akshay Kumar ki stories, how they struggled up, it inspires me ki even coming from that background and to what their livelihood was compared to what I've had, it inspires me ki look at them, what they were and what they're now. My dad inspires me. He's read so many books. He's a Google by himself. He has answers to all the questions on the planet. My mom inspires me with her cooking because I don't think anybody can cook better than her. Even some people who are so poor and who are happy within themselves, they inspire me. And there are a lot of other people. So I always
Right.
have little and something or the something to take something from them. It's not just one person. It's never been one person. When people ask me who's that one person, I'm like, why one person? I want to be inspired by a lot of people. So yeah, a lot of
Wonderful.
people have inspired me.
Yeah, wonderful. I think it's very important to get inspired from a lot of people. So it'll give us a holistic perspective. So not a perspective of only
Yeah,
one field, but you will have a
yeah, not
perspective
just
of
one.
all the fields which are there.
Correct.
So
Yeah, absolutely.
It's important.
Like
for that,
sometimes my dog also gives inspiration. Just keep sleeping. It's okay. It's not the end of the world.
yeah. I think that would be the biggest inspiration, isn't it?
Yeah, like I feel how lucky he is.
Get it. So Arshin, like everything was going at its own pace and the world was like very peaceful and like the world was happy. But after that COVID-19 pandemic was hit and everyone, like a lot of industries were suffered. I feel that even the Bollywood industry was one of the most terribly affected industries because the main job of yours is to go to a place where there's crowd, of course,
Yeah.
and that was just stopped because of COVID-19 pandemic. So how did you ensure that you do not lose hope in this uncertain time and you give your best no matter what uncertainties God is going to throw upon you?
Well, I always tell myself, which is the advice my father gives me, it's not the end of the world. You know, there is a hope for tomorrow. And I have a strong belief system in me that, that something good is going to definitely happen tomorrow, because life is like a cycle. If there is a down, it has to go up. And if there is up, it has to go down. So
Right.
what I'm doing during this pandemic is, of course, I know that it's going to get over someday. Like literally, it has to get over someday. And I want to
Right.
be prepared for it. I don't want to be like at the end of the pandemic, I've put on like itna. I've always had a dream of having a body which I wanted. And I think for the first time in 6 years, I could do everything I wanted to. I made that body last pandemic. I worked out so much because pura din kuch bhi nahi tha karne ko. I utilized my time in every way which I wanted to do since so many years. I could not. I worked out. I started joining my acting classes because I was like, it's important once it is over. It's not like abhi kya karne ka. I should not forget on my craft.
Right.
So I think it's very important to keep working on your craft and on yourself and do whatever makes you happy. For the first time, I started spending so much of time with my family, and I know that this is all going to get over. It's just temporary phase, and I think make the most of it. Stop cribbing about things which will not work out right now. So I think it's very important how I keep myself busy is by doing my acting course. I do it for 2-3 hours. I give my auditions. I spend I spend time with my family. I work out, which I would have otherwise not done. Like I would have I
Right.
don't do it when I'm in Bombay and when I'm not doing anything. So this has given me the time to do all that I wanted.
Right, right. And it's absolutely very important to stay in touch with all these things because after the end of the pandemic, people are going to like value and recognize only those who have like upskilled themselves and have tried to do something extra, like as compared to other people. So I think that's really important.
Correct. Just keep going on. Like, just don't give up. Like, just for a temporary phase in your life, you don't, क्या बोलते हैं तुम कुछ परमानेंट चीज को खराब नहीं करना चाहोगे. Like it takes a lot of time to lose all the weight. So if I keep eating right now, it will be a disaster at the end of the pandemic. So I think it's
Right.
the right time for me, because see, this is for me only. I'm sure somebody wanted to sing. I hear somebody is now has their job and also wanted to sing, and I'm like, why aren't you doing that? You have all the time in the world. Like, why aren't you literally doing that? And they're like, you're still busy. I'm like, you can juggle up your ways. I think it's time when people should realize that maybe this pandemic is something which can do better to you as an individual also. Of course, there's a lot of things going on in the world, but as an individual, try looking out for more positiveness, in
Right.
to whatever you can in these situations. There's so much
Right.
of negative energy which is going around everywhere, like even if with my family and with people I keep hearing and everything, and I feel I should stop this news. Like I should literally stop listening to news, because it makes you more unhappy and sad to listening to all the sorrows and
Yeah.
stories of people. So I think it's I do meditation, at least stay with yourself for a while. I pray, and I believe, like I have the strong belief that it's always happened that something good turns up, like something good happens. So
Right.
I have this positive energy and belief in it.
So how has meditation changed your life?
I did a course which is act and self, so now I'm not doing, but whenever I do, actually I do 5 to 10 minutes every day. Sometimes I used to do it for half an hour, and initially it gives you a lot of anxiety and a lot of thoughts keep coming. But then it's very important, I think, to spend time with yourself and the nature also, because we as humans have hundreds of thoughts in our mind, about the
Right.
world, about Instagram, about followers, about what's going to happen tomorrow, about work, about finances, about kids, about everything. There's no time to think nothing. Try to think nothing, and it is so good. And it's a practice. You can't just do it in a day,
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
you do it in the day, you're like, nahi yaar, bahut sare thoughts aa rahe. It's a process.
Right.
So I feel it's made me a lot calmer. It's made me realize what real life is. It's made me come out of my dream world and get into the realistic world. So it's important people should get out of the bubble and start realizing the true meaning of life.
Right. It's really very important to spend time with yourself to understand like
Yes,
what are you
yes,
doing,
yes.
where are you
Keep your
heading.
phones away. Keep everything away. Start reading a
Right.
book. Start just you know what? Whenever I get sad, I read this book, The Secret. I'm sure you
Mhm.
must have also heard it. It gives me a lot
Yeah.
of confidence because it's something like, I think if it's something like whatever I want is in me only. So whenever that book, something just changes me, because I have always got what I wanted. Of course, I've not got a movie with Khan, but that's something now I've realized I don't want it, maybe. Or even if I get it, I'm very happy about it. So for me, I have been so positive, maybe because I've grown up that way and I've always got what I wanted. So, and it's made me believe that what I think literally happens. So I've started thinking in a more positive way, and I want everybody to do that because it actually works.
Right.
Being positive
Absolutely.
about your life and believing in yourself.
Yeah. But if I'm not wrong, like you've got a movie with Salman Khan, right? You were there in Bajrangi Bhaijaan.
That
So
was, I'm saying the lead opposite to a Khan, like a proper lead. That was just for a
okay.
few seconds, okay? That was my first character, first act which I got for a movie, and I could not say no because I wanted to see Salman Khan. That's the only reason. Though he was not there in my scene also, but I only said yes to meet him on the sets. So
Okay.
that too for a few seconds. I didn't even know that time what acting was about.
So I think like it's also very important to maintain a work-life balance, like wherever you're working, be it like in acting, be it in a company, be it your own startup entrepreneurship itself. It's important to have that work-life balance, wherein you're able to maintain the equilibrium between your work and the personal life. So let's like talk about your work-life balance. So how do you maintain the work-life balance? So maybe like how does a typical day look like in the life of an actor?
Well, a typical day, if you say if I have a shoot, then it's definitely getting up in the morning, being on the set, come home, sleep. That's it. That is what
Okay.
your shoot life is as an
Hmm.
actor. You don't have to do anything. You've been worked on yourself, your hair, your makeup, everything gets done on the set. All you have to do is get up and go on the sets. Otherwise, if I'm not working, I would get up in the morning, I would drink a lot of water, do my morning rituals and everything, and go to the gym. I would come back and I would start giving auditions. Like I
Okay.
would just see auditions, whatever, because I feel giving audition means working on your craft. I was somewhere or the other one because I am somebody who just doesn't sit at home. Everyone is so shocked and surprised. That's the reason my mom and dad want me here, only because they know if I'm in Bombay, I would not be sitting at home. So for me, it's very important not to sit idle. I want to do something. I just have to do something. If I'm not doing something, it makes me it gives me a lot of anxiety. Why am I not doing anything? I have to do something. So
Right.
I start giving auditions, I start working on myself, I call up my friends, aaj kahan auditions aa raha? I give that. And then in the evening I would meet a few of my friends if I have to, and then again I would go for walks, and then I would come home. If web series and all is there, I would watch something and then I would go off to sleep. Yeah.
Right, get it. Yeah, so like it's like you're maintaining the work-life balance, of course. Like
Yes,
when it
yes, yes.
is going
So
on.
I'm not working, I'm working on my craft. That's for
Right,
there. That's for sure. Yeah.
get it, get it. So I should like asking on behalf of everyone once again, when are we seeing you on the big screen? Like what are some of the current projects going on?
Well, I think small screens are equally important as big screen these days. I don't even
Yeah,
remember when was the last time I went on a big screen. So I think that's a change which has come up, and I'm really happy about it because I think small like OTT platforms have given people like us a
yeah,
lot of footage, like especially in terms of web series. Like even my web series has got released, which was last month, a few days back, not even like on 28th April, it got released. It's called Main Hero Bol Raha Hu. It is with this actor called Parth Samthan, and I have become his wife in the a girlfriend and then a wife in the web series, and I think it's going on like a 9.2 rating on the IMDb. People have
Wow,
loved it,
that's
and
amazing.
it's given me so much of more recognition rather even compared to what I had done in the movie. You know, all over the world and other countries also people have seen it, and like I'm getting messages from different parts of the country and different, you know, in different countries also, you know, that we've loved your act.
Lovely.
They've started calling me Manasvi only instead of Arshin because that's my character's name. So I think this web series has given me a lot of recognition. I'm so glad. It's with All Balaji. It's on All Balaji and Z5, and Ekta Kapoor ka hai ye.
Right.
So I am this character in the web series, which I'm not in real life. You know, I'm a Maharashtrian character and I'm a typical Bammaite, you know, with that slang language and all. But then it was very interesting. So I want all you guys, whoever is seeing this video, to
Yeah,
watch my web series show.
sure, absolutely,
So
guys. Like all of you are watching, who
yeah,
are watching the video, do check out the web series on Alt Balaji and Z5 Premium.
yeah. And other than that, I think as an actor, we are always insecure about what's going to happen tomorrow. Like because of pandemic, we're not able to meet a lot of people and do our regular stuff. So you don't know what's there tomorrow, but there are certain assignments, and I feel that there is something written out there for me, and I'll definitely get it. So at times it stresses me out, but I of course know that I've not given up. So there's no way that I'm supposed to feel low about it, because once I go to Bombay, I'm going to start working on me
Right.
again.
There's so much
Yeah.
positivity which is coming and flowing from you. Like even when I'm talking to you right now, it's just creating an aura of shimmering brightness. And I feel that everyone who's watching the video, he or she's going to get inspired, and like it's going to be very positive. So thank you for all the
I
wonderful answers, in fact.
You're most welcome, because because see, you know, I could have been not realistic in the video, and then I thought, why? I want to show people what actually happens with me. Like
Yeah.
right now at this moment, I don't know what's going to happen for me tomorrow. I have to start giving my auditions again. I have to start working on myself. I have to start building up contact. I'll have to start calling people. I don't know what's going to happen because there's no assignments. There are a few assignments, but I don't know whether that's going to happen now because of the pandemic or not. So there's a lot of insecurity and a little, you know, that scariness, that goosebumps that happens to me when I think about it. To be very frank,
Right.
Vishal. But
Yeah.
then I am very positive. I really believe in myself. I really believe that, you know, one day I'm going to be on top there. I really believe that. So I think
Yeah.
that gives me a lot of positive energy, and believing in myself makes me happy on doing whatever I'm doing today. You know, people become unrealistic. People are like, we have so many projects in our hand. हमारे हाथ में ये है, वो है. We have a lot of things. But right now, I'm telling you, I don't have, but I'm very positive about it, and I am going to get. Like, you will definitely see me very soon in some or the other way, and Kushal will again take my interview and I'll again come to know about it.
Thanks. Yeah. Like it'll be my pleasure to take your interview again after, like, you're soon going to go on
Absolutely.
a big screen, because like IMDb rating of 9.2, it's phenomenal, and you're getting calls from
Yeah.
international players as well.
Yes, people have started
That's
making me
amazing.
so many videos. They have started. Actually, there's a movie also which I shot in Lucknow, and uski bhi shooting baki hai. So that I will be doing after my pandemic. It's
Okay.
called Anari is Back. So
Okay.
that I'm doing, and I think I've got a lot because people have started making a lot of my videos, and I never thought, because I'm not the main lead in that web series. It's Patra Lekha, but then
Okay.
people have loved my character so much, and I actually got into the character because it happened immediately after the pandemic, the shoot. So
Okay.
the whole pandemic, I worked on my art for 6-8 months, and I
Right.
got so much confidence in that in the whole lockdown schedule, that when I went on the set, I was just like, I'm the queen. I am coming. Guys, be ready. You know, that was my attitude. And I felt
Yeah.
really good about it. So yeah,
Right.
my
Yeah.
director was like, कहाँ से आए हो तुम? कहीं गए थे क्या lockdown में? I'm like, नहीं sir, I was at home only. I'm like, it's a total different version to what I saw her. You were shy, you were not comfortable, and right now you're just a total different lady. So I worked a lot during the lockdown, and I just enjoyed the process of what happened to me after that.
Yeah, I think everything is being reflected in the hand gestures and your jolliness, which is coming out in all your answers. So it's pretty much evident from
Thank
all the
you.
answers which you're giving. Arshin, like,
Thank you.
what is one thing that people don't know about you?
I think they should know that I'm very stubborn about things. Like if I want something, I no matter what, I will even fight with my parents or whoever is going against it if there's something what I want. Like, if you're telling me that if there is something like for example, अगर मुझे कोई acting के लिए मना करता, even if it would be in a family or anything, I would have been stubborn enough to just leave everything and go and work on my passion and pursue
Right.
my dreams and all. So, and stubbornness is not just that, like in anything, if I'm not getting anything, I'll take an hours and hours of me to get on that and I will finish off that. If I want something, I will work on it, and no matter what, I want that. Like that's something which
Right.
I think people don't know, and I get crazy. It takes me a lot of like, why is that I don't have this and I have to work on it. And for example, my mom also knows it. Like I'm so positive that what I get. So in case if she misplaces something, she'll be like, Arshin ko call karo, mil jata hai. Because the way I think, ki, ho jayega, actually hota hai. And that's happened with her so many times that kuch bhi hota hai, the first thing she does is she calls me up and like, don't worry, things will fall in place.
Right, get it.
So,
Again, this shows your optimistic attitude. Thank
yeah.
you so much for taking out your time. Like it was a very, very positive conversation. And in fact, like even I've become so
Thank
positive
you,
after
Kushal.
talking to you. It's like all the negativity which is there around me, I think that is going to go. And tomorrow I'm just going to wake up with a very fresh, positive mindset. So that is the amount of positivity
Wonderful.
you have showered, like on everyone. So one last question to you. What would be one
Yeah.
piece of advice you would like to give to a person who wants to become future Arshin Mehta?
Well, I think every individual has its unique selling point, is what they
Right,
are, you know. So I don't want anyone to become Arshan Mehta. I want everyone to be themselves in this real world and to be perseverant. Like it's very important to keep on going on and on and on, no matter what. Don't stop on something that scares you. I just because this attitude of what I had was a never give up attitude. And
mm,
whenever anyone's asking me what is that one thing you have, is like I never give up on things, like never
right,
ever. So I think never giving up and being perseverant on what you want has made me what I am. And of course the self-belief that I have, like someday I thought that I'm better than the Miss Universe and Miss
mm,
World also. Just a thought, what's wrong in thinking that way.
right,
So I think that self-belief what I had, what I still have, is very important. And having that positive attitude is also important. Praying, being with yourself, whatever you're praying about, energy, whatever, just pray, believe into something, have hope, because I think and always I say it's not the end of the world. Anybody
right,
gets upset about something and I always ask them one thing: is it the end of the world tomorrow? Is it? And they're like, no. Like, what are you worried about? Are they going to kill you?
right.
Is anyone going to come and kill you? No. Because initially I was a very shy girl. I used to even walk on the streets. I used to walk like having my head down. I used to be scared. And every time I used to ask myself, are they going to kill me? Are they going to hit me? No, they're not even going to touch me. What am I scared about? So
Right.
it's not the end of the world. Just, and don't give up. Just be perseverant and keep working on yourself.
Right. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Because
Just
all this makes you lucky. Because everything, whatever I just said, automatically makes you lucky. People like, you're very lucky, you're this. But I think you make yourself lucky by being like this. So
right.
be that.
Absolutely. Just to put it differently, I think I had read a very good quote also somewhere, I think on Instagram itself or Google Images. So it said that it'll all be okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's
Yes.
not the end. So
Yes,
like,
it's
this
not
is
the end of
a
the world, right?
yeah. So this is a very good quote. Like
Yeah.
even if there's some negativity which is going on, you just have to remember that it's everything is going to be okay. Like towards the end.
Everything gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Everything gonna be
Absolutely.
okay.
Thanks a
Right.
lot, Arshin, once again. So it was lovely talking to you. I think I've
Same
enjoyed the
here.
most in this conversation talking to you, and everyone is going to get
Thank you,
boosted
same
and
here.
charged up.
Thank you,
And
Kushal. I had a wonderful time too. I mean, it really makes me happy to get in touch with CA especially, and to tell people my journey, because there are a lot of people. I think CA is such a exhausting,
yeah,
exhausting profession that people have no time to
right.
pursue something else that they want. And I feel you should just have a balance to be happy. That's what we
Right.
just.
And you're the perfect example of like following passion. as well as like following your profession. So it's very evident, and I think this is the message which I also wanted to give to the entire audience. It's very important to stay in touch with a passion.
Thank you so much, Kushal. And it was lovely talking to you, all of you. I will again have a different kind of a conversation with all of you.
Yeah,
So
sure,
love you
sure.
all, and I wish you good luck.
Thanks a lot, Arshin. Wish you all the best as well.